Based on what you've seen and the trends that you're tracking, how unique is this offense in the NFL?
Well, look, I think that, okay, so I think maybe it's the most unique thing ever is like a bit of an overstatement. Ultimately, you're like, look, like the thing that's really smart about this offense is that they're taking the pieces that they have and making them fit. So Kyler Murray has a special skill set and a skill set that Cliff Kingsbury really understands and relates to and can create a game plan for. And that's the best thing you could possibly do, right? Is you take your pieces and you deploy them in a way that makes them optimally successful. So the thing that you're seeing like growth and changes based on what they would like to be doing. But I think that it is a really smart, congruent fit for what he has right now. And even getting Kenyan Drake here, trading for Kenyan Drake, is a really smart opportunity. For a sixth rounder, that's a really great addition to an offense that, like, David Johnson is special, but when you're hurt, it's really difficult to be special and to maintain being special if you're not on the field. So I think they're making these moves like very strategically. If you get an O-line in front of Kyler Murray, they can give him just a little bit more in passing and allow those deeper routes to form. Like, I think it could be an exceptionally special, fast-paced, kind of Golden State Warriors-esque sort of paced offense.
Let's talk more about this running back room with David Johnson and Chase Edmonds pretty banged up, now bringing in Kenyan Drake. Where have you seen David Johnson thrive the most, Chase Edmonds, and what can Kenyan Drake now bring into this offense?
Well, the thing, I mean, look, I think like the Chase Edmonds, the fact that they trust him on the goal line so much tells me a lot about how they feel about his ability to navigate holes and have vision and be able to earn yards after the catch, yards after contact. Same thing with David Johnson. So I think they're similar pieces. I think we have more of a visual of David Johnson, like just getting deep gashes for, 10 plus yards and finding that outside zone and figuring out like how to make more than what's potentially given to him, right? The thing that you're going to, I know a bit more about Kenyan Drake. I've been tracking him since he played at Alabama. The thing that's interesting about him, he was a third rounder for the Dolphins, and what we saw a couple seasons ago when he was healthy, and let's be honest, when he wanted to play there, you could see this guy get yards after contact. Like, he can barrel through a line and make people miss. He's also good at blocking. So in pass protection, he's able to pick up blitzes. He's able to give his quarterback just a little bit of breathing room.
With Patrick Peterson and his return in the past two games, how have you seen the defense as a whole really get impacted with his return?
So first of all, Patrick Peterson is one of my favorite players, for no reason other than that he's so fun to track. Like the way that I do a lot of computer vision is I'll draw halos around players, and the amount of running and I'm going to use the word annoyance, the amount of times he's so close to receivers has to be so frustrating, but it makes me laugh when I track it, right? Because that's what makes it so special. The difference obviously is look, when you have a front and a back that can back each other up, so if you're bringing pressure up front, and you're able to take that on the back end and make a quarterback have to hold onto the ball and think about it a little bit, that's the optimal configuration. When you have a corner that's going to absolutely just blanket someone and make a quarterback have to think for even half a second more, you allow that pass rush to develop a lot more. So you'll see an increase in efficiency, especially in some of these people that that he's a bit more familiar with, right? I'm sure he could tell you a lot about Jared Goff's tendencies. He could tell you a lot about Russell Wilson's tendencies, right? So when it comes to stuff like that, you'll even see it more in these opponents that are more familiar.
Cynthia, thanks so much for the time and the insight. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.